Down, 2nd and 4. Duggan, back-to-back passes, going, and it is caught. Jacob Pearson. Big play for a first down, and St. Louis coming out throwing out of the gate, something they usually don't do, 24.
Tell you, what a great route. First he's going to go inside before he goes back outside. A bit of a corner there.
So they're going to settle to take the points. Rodrigo Blankenship on the kick it from 20, and St. Louis gets the first score of the game.
You know, Kurt, that never realized, and he was more of a pocket guy.
And he hands it off to Corbin on first down, and Corbin with a nice run of 13 right out of the gate. Robbins lined up at tailback.
It's that extra lineman in the backfield.
Robbins hit in the backfield. Travis Feeney not fooled at all. From 40. Jacob Sailors. 15 easy yards when you hand it off to the leader.
Who's been one of the best in the UFL. And then there's the patience that I was speaking of from Jacob Sailors. This is a guy that just quietly.
He went over to the sideline. We'll keep an eye on. Jarvion Howard now in, and he gets the run. It doesn't matter who's running the football right now. They had 173 yards rushing last game.
Telling his wide receivers, like, hey, they're coming out as they come out.
They're a little funky sometimes. Howard, he's stopped in the backfield on 3rd and 11. 4-man rush. Duggan winds up. High caught. Lake Jackson, 1st and goal, Battlehawks.
Throw this route right linebacker. Watch this linebacker right here. As soon as the route gets on top of him, ball is out. And that corner is trying to collapse. And then that's excellent job by Blake Jackson. Athleticism, high point this ball before he can get into that corner. And Chris Steele couldn't make it.
180. Howard. Did he cross the goal line? He did. Touchdown, St. Louis. Yards to the 38. Corbin through a hole, and Corbin picks up 8 yards. Ball came out. Ball came out and was scooped up by Micah Abraham. He's going the other way. No flags on the play. Touchdown, St. Louis. St. Louis, Abraham with the deep, forcing it out and taking it all the way home. And I ain't going nowhere, so you can get on the grill. He picks up 10 on that one. They hand it off. Corbin with running room. Good gain of 14, having the chains.
Well, and look at the spread set, right? So watch these linebackers. Look where they're at. Look how far the linebackers are apart. So what can you do? You can seal them off, and then you can get right up into the gut there.
Corbin cuts it back into the end zone for the touchdown. It's the crowd, but it'll keep them quiet for a little while.
Well, what I love here is, look, there's only your defenders. Everybody else is outside. You either have ends outside or safeties outside. And so San Antonio just takes their 5 offensive linemen. They block right down the middle of the field. And I got to tell you, Corbin is running so hard and so effective right now. Outside of that fumble, he's been at this point another 15, 20 yards to be in field goal range.
Duggan hit as he throws, sticks it right into the breadbasket of Jacob. Showing a little toughness as well.
That's exactly right. Listen, again, that's what we were just talking about then.
180. Duggan, his arm hit, but he still completes it. And it's Darby into the end zone for the touchdown.
A great adjustment here. Watch on the outside. He's going to kind of hook over, and then he's going to come back to the football. As Duggan goes onto the outside, he comes back to the football, and then he's in zone. That's exactly what Anthony Beck wanted to see, not only from his offense, but from his quarterback. Like I said, that was likely Max Duggan's last series before the postseason. Wanted to leave the field with a sweet taste in his mouth, and throwing for a touchdown is exactly what you want. 12 of 17, 134 yards. And this is what, there's this bad connotation out there. Grimaces when you say, like, oh, he's a quality game manager. And it's like every great quarter manager. Here we go.
Oh, what a return. Talk about a game manager. They're going to manage to get back in the end zone. Maybe Jaden Sheridan just stopped before he in the locker room. Not yet.
I'm blabbering on about quarterbacks being game managers, and we almost get a return for a touchdown. My goodness. down the sideline and just had the touchdown saved.
Micah Abraham again.
Micah Abraham had the scoop and score. And then here, just the hustle side. Look at 21, Micah Abraham. I mean, racing down there to get him out of bounds, but now
well, some fireworks at the end of the first half.
That's the end of the second quarter. His ball placement, he's been really accurate with the football. And out of those two mistakes, the fumble and the fourth down, they played outstanding on offense.
Jonathan Kirkland breaks free. Another big play on special teams. Bicio gets him started here in the second half.
Well, here we go on the opposite side. Now we got to return the second time coming out, and I tell you, this is... There's your cutback lane. 1 or 2 yards ain't bad. 1 or 2 yards ain't bad.
Guy who's been there 3 days able to break it down.
He's been in 18 offenses. He knows what's going on.
I know. I saw the graphic actually said college journeyman. It sounds like a shot. There's a flag down on the field goal attempt. The St. Louis held him to field goals on both. And now they will take over on offense for the first time here in the second half. Frank, who had the touchdown right near the end of the first half.
You know, and tape out there. That's what this is all about. What an incredible opportunity this is.
Pump fake going deep right away. And it's hauled in. Butler with the catch. Flag.
Okay, it's a little double move right here. So first it's a little hitch, and then they get caught, and then there's the contact. Beautiful ball right there. I tell you, that ball placement was...
Ready, one play, huh? Jarvion and another first down for the Battlehawks.
If you're going to fight the whole team, you already put the team in the bad position. Being selfish, send them to the locker room.
Howard bouncing outside, dragged down from behind by Mosley. Already made one from 21, this from 23. He's 2 for 2 tonight. 19 for 20 on the season.
Fight for those extra yards, but that's the only risk.
You saw what he could do in week 1 when he had 115. Silvers complete. Pearson into San Antonio territory, and a first down for the Battlehawks, gain of 24.
Well, I tell you, I mean, Silvers can throw this football now. That has
5 carries for 12 yards back in week 2. 1 for 10 now. Silvers. You said he's no Duggan?
180.
Here comes the blitz. First play of the fourth quarter. Silvers. Oh, wide open. Butler. Touchdown.
I mean, just a full pump fake on the outside, and he sells this double move. So you see that just a little slant ball is up right away, and it's an easy touchdown for Butler. Watch this. He totally sells it. That ball even comes separated from his offhand a little bit. And the corner bite side, Sean Fresh and Phil McGagan loving it. Just giving a little shimmy up in the press box. There are times, you know, he double move slant route to Butler. If I'm Max Duggan, I'm like, hey, can I throw a double move? Give me a play call or two.
They hand it off. Latulis. First down and more.
Total rush defense, third down defense. It's just been a year.
But they do a good job stopping the run right here.
180. What is that? Got it.
Silvers. Darby gets away. Ball came out. San Antonio looks like they recovered. Jordan Williams.
Touched on it earlier. This time it's for 22. Swings that run. It's going to be in St. Louis regardless. Plays quarterback who plays running back. Do we see Sailors? How about Latulis?
Runs like that will certainly make its case. Kayvon.
Love to see that. Teammates giving Latulis some love here. And again, watch the patience, and then he's just going to explode right down the middle of the defense. Great job up front, and then some poor effort and tackling on the outside. There's no doubt. There was a couple of players there in the defensive secondary that had a shot. But again, it's just running hard. Latulis the defense and forces them to make a play, and he gets right up the field and into the end zone ultimately. And again, this St. Louis team, 400 yards of offense tonight. That's the second time this year they've been over 400 yards. They did that in week 1 against Houston, and this game has been eerily similar to that night against the Rams.
Yeah, we did that game in Houston week 1, and what we saw was dominant offensive line play. They were able to run the ball. They were able to protect their quarterback. They're doing the exact same thing tonight here as they get ready to wrap up the regular season. Sheridan.
He did it again.
They're even having fun on the sideline right now.
And the center's going to bob his head. They're trying again. And then it's a kind of a little delay. Bob his head, and then they wait. And then he bobs his head again.
4th and 5. Garrett makes up for that previous penalty. First sack for either team tonight.
See, he didn't need the head start. He could just beat him on the run.
On to the UFL championship game. So congratulations to Anthony Becht. He finished the